this video, we're going to continue adding PayPal to our e-commerce app with Django and Python. Hey guys, John Alder here from Codemy.com. And in the last video, we set up our PayPal sandbox account, both a personal account and a business account. In this video, we want to continue adding PayPal to our actual Django app. So we're going to install something called Django PayPal. We're going to set it all up in our app. It's not that complicated, but there are some moving parts that are a little tricky. And at the end of this video, we should be able to accept payments via PayPal. Now, there's still going to be some things we need to do. We need to set up a whole bunch of stuff to keep track of the orders after they're processed. We'll do that later on. In this video, we're just going to set up the basic functionality to accept a payment and then process it and then return a result. So let's head over to our code. I'm using the Sublime Text Editor and the Git Bash terminal as always. And as always, you can find a link to the code in the pinned comment section below, as well as a link to the playlist with all the other videos in this Django e-commerce series. So check that out if you haven't so far. So I've got my settings.py file open. We're going to need to make some changes to this in just a second. But before we do that, let's actually install the library that we're going to use in order to do all this PayPal stuff. Actually, let's head over to this website, django-paypal.readthedocs.io/en/stable/standard/ipn.html. This is the thing we're going to be using. Let's see if we go back to the main page of this. We're going to pip install Django-PayPal. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. Head over to our terminal. Control-C to break out of your server if you're running that. So I'm in my C/ecom/ecom directory. My virtual environment is turned on. And let me just paste in. And let's just go pip install Django-PayPal. And that should do the trick. Now, remember several videos ago, we pushed all of this up to web hosting. So we can't really run this anymore without making some changes. So I'm not even going to try and run this locally. We're going to make some changes and then push it up to GitHub and then see the actual live website. But you can do this locally if you want to tweak your settings file to work locally again like we used to. But anyway, we'll leave that for now. So let's head back over here very quickly and just sort of walk through what we're going to need to do. So in our settings.py file, we need to add this to our installed apps. We need to set this to true because we're going to be doing sandbox stuff, at least for now. When we get it all set up, we'll change this back to false and make it actually live. But for now, we just want to use all that sandbox stuff we set up in the last video so we can make fake orders and see, just to make sure it's working. And after we do that, we'll need to make a migration, update the database. And then we need to create a PayPal payments form. And this is not like a regular Django form. We're going to create a Python dictionary right in our view and pass that to the page, and it'll show a little PayPal button on the screen if they want to use PayPal. So we'll do that. That's going to take most of the video. And then that's pretty much it. Now, this other stuff we're going to get into later on. In this video, we're just going to set it up to where we can accept a payment. It will process the payment. It'll go through PayPal. It'll do its thing. And then it'll send the customer back to our website and show a success page. It won't actually add that stuff to our database like we had it set up in the past when they set an order. We'll do that later. In this video, like I said, I just want to get the order processing fundamental thing set up. So, okay, first things first, let's go ahead and add this to our installed apps. Head over to our code, and we want in our ecom directory, our settings.py file, and we just come down here to our installed apps. We've got a bunch of installed apps already. We've done this many times. So we could just paste that in. There we go. And that's just paypal.standard.ipn. And there we go. Go ahead and save that. Now let's come down here to the bottom of this file, and let's add a bunch of PayPal settings. Well, 2, I guess. So add PayPal settings. The first one is what we saw on that screen. So let's say set sandbox to true. And we're just going to go PayPal_test equals true. And like I said, we'll change this to false later on when we stop using the sandbox. But for now, we want the sandbox. And we also want to go PayPal_receiver_email. And we want to set this to whatever your sandbox business account is. We set that up in the last video. Ours is business@codemytest.com. And that's just our business sandbox account. Once you set this live, you'll set it to whatever your actual PayPal business account is. But for now, we're just going to use all the sandbox stuff. So go ahead and save that. That looks good. Let's head over to our urls.py file. And we're going to be working in our payments directory for all of this. You can really kind of put this anywhere, but this is a payment thing. So we're going to stick with the payments convention here in this directory. So let's come over here, and up here where we're importing path, we also want to import include. And then let's come down here and create a new path. And this is going to be PayPal. And we want to include PayPal.standard.ipn.urls. And don't forget your comma at the end. And these are just a bunch of URLs that come with that library we just installed and allow us to then use them kind of automatically. So go ahead and save that. Now let's head over to our views.py file. And here we need to import some PayPal stuff, right? So first we need from Django.urls, we want to import reverse. And reverse sort of sends us back. So if we make a payment, it'll reverse us back to some page in our website from PayPal, right? And that's just a Django thing. So import reverse, there we go. That looks good. And then from PayPal.standard.forms, we want to import the PayPal, both the P's are capitalized. That trips people up sometimes. The first time I did it, I put a lowercase p. No, both capitalized P. So it's PayPal payments form. So this is a plural S, payments, right? Form. Okay. And if we go back to that website real quick, we can see down here, let's see, where's it at? Yeah. Number 3, we're going to create a PayPal payments form, right? So that's step 3 here. And you might want to read through this. We're going to go through it real quickly. I'm just going to sort of do my own thing here and make some changes because this is a little bit wrong. I don't want to say wrong. It's just the way we're going to do it is a little easier. So you might want to read this, but you definitely don't have to. Okay. So back over here, PayPal payments form. And then we also need from Django.conf, we want to import our settings. Because in that settings.py file, we want to import those 2 variables that we just, or at least one of those variables we just created. So, okay. Now, finally, we want to import UUID. And that will allow us to create a unique user ID for duplicate orders. This will make sure there are no duplicate orders. We're going to create a little ID with PayPal every time we create an order, and this will just create a unique user ID just sort of automatically for us. So, okay, that looks good. So this is pretty much all we need. So go ahead and save that. Now, if we head back over to our website here, I'm just going to close that. Here we're at djangotest.com, and let's just come down here and add one of these books for $19.99, add to cart. Now, when we click on this guy, it goes to our cart, we can check out. We can set the shipping info. Actually, let's log in first because we've got all of our shipping info saved. Let's go ahead and do that. And again, let's check out. And actually, we haven't saved it for this. Oh, because this is the live website. We didn't save our shipping info. So if you want to save this, you put your shipping stuff in here. We're going to override this at first in the PayPal stuff, and we'll go back later and tinker it so that you can use this if they want, or if the customer wants, I should say. So let's go john@codemy.com. Let's go 10 West Elm. I don't know. Apartment 1505. I don't know. Chicago, Illinois, 60610 in USA. I used to live in Chicago, but not anymore. So now it goes to the billing info page, right? And this is where we're going to enter our credit card information, but we're going to set this up to either accept credit cards or PayPal. So this is the page here where we want to do our PayPal stuff right now, this billing_info page. So let's head back over to our code, and in our views.py file in our payment app here, let's head down to our billing info page. Let's see if we can find it. There it is, billing info. And it starts right out by saying, hey, did they go there to that page on their own, or did they click the button through the cart? If they did, they've posted, which is what we want. So here we have all of our cart stuff. Here we have all of our shipping stuff. Here, let's create PayPal form and stuff, right? So let's give some space here. And you'll remember we have it set up to where if they're logged in, it does a thing. If they're not logged in, it does another thing. So we'll have to add this form to both of these things, right? First, before we do that, let's get the host because we need to be able to tell PayPal where to send us back to. So let's create a variable called host. And this is just going to be a request dot get underscore host. And anytime we have a view, we're always passing in the request from the browser. We could just use that request to get the host. So, okay, we've got that. Now let's do some PayPal stuff. So what we need to do is create, let's say instead of that, let's say create PayPal form dictionary. So let's call this PayPal underscore dict. Call it anything you want, really. But this is just a regular Python dictionary, right? And we need to pass in a bunch of stuff that PayPal will require in order to do this. First, we need to set the business. And these are key value pairs, right? So to get this, we go settings dot PayPal underscore receiver underscore email. Get your comma there. And remember, this is just that settings we just set up, this PayPal receiver email, which is our sandbox business account, right? So, I mean, you don't have to use the settings for this. You could just type it in, but I don't know. We're going to go ahead and do it because that's what the instructions tell us to do. So here we also now want the amount. How much are they spending, right? And we can get that. That's just our totals. Remember, let's see, up here we have our cart stuff. Remember, we've got our cart totals that's being passed to the page. We could just access that right there. So in our case, it's $19.99 because we have one book, right? So here we can say item underscore name, and you can get fancy with this and put, what the thing actually is. We might do that later. For now, I'm just going to call this book order. So this will show up in PayPal as a book order, right? We're not going to say 3 Python books, 2 tkinter books, 1 Rails book. We'll just call it book order, right? All right, we can do that. Now here, let's set no underscore shipping to the number 2. And this is just a PayPal thing. This will say, listen, when you have a PayPal account, you have an address attached to that. And if you want to just by default use that address, that's fine. We don't want that. We want them to be able to have any shipping address they want. It may not be the same shipping address. They may be buying it for their mom and they want to ship it to their mom. They may want to use the shipping address on file with our website. They may want to use the PayPal address. We want to give them the option, and 2 gives them the option to change it. We'll see that later on when we actually create an order. So, okay, no shipping 2. What else? Let's create an invoice number. That's just invoice. And here we're going to use that UUID thing that we, imported right here, right? Scroll back down. Sorry. And that's just going to be, and now first we need to make it into a string. So let's call the string function. And then we'll just call UUID dot UUID4. And then that's a function. Don't forget your little brackets. So we really don't care what this is. This will just create a unique user ID string of characters, numbers, whatever. So this will be unique for each order. And that'll just get passed to PayPal. So next we need to set the currency code. So currency underscore code. And I want to set this for us to USD, right? You could set it to EUR for euros, for instance, or whatever currency code you want. Let's say for euros, right? There we go, currency code. Now, finally, we need a notify underscore URL. Not finally, we need to do a few of these, but this is the main one, notify URL. And this will send back information from PayPal. We'll set all this up in a later video, but we still need to set it up, at least this part right here. And for this, we need to create a URL. So that's HTTP or HTTPS if it's, up on your website, right? So ours is. So here we need 2 open and closing brackets. And then let's go dot format because we need to pass some stuff in here. First, we're going to pass 2 things, right? First, we're going to pass the host. And we know what that is because we got it right here. In our case, it's djangotest.com, I think is the name of our website. Yeah, djangotest.com. If you're doing this locally, that would be your local host. It will return localhost, right? So we want to pass the host. We also want to pass the reverse. of PayPal-IPN. And that is going to come from these guys, I believe, right? And we'll settle that up later. But for now, we need to just set it like that. We need this 2 more times. So I'll just paste this in twice. So in addition to a notify URL, we need a return URL. And this is going to be payment_success, right? So when the order is processed and it sends it back to the website, where does it send it? It's going to send it to payment_success. We'll look at that in just a second. So we need a return URL. We also need a cancel_return. So if they start doing the PayPal order process, they click the PayPal button, they go to PayPal, and they click cancel for some reason, or they stop the order, and it gets sent back to the website as a error or something, payment failed, right? So here, this is going to be payment_failed. Now, you probably don't remember, we set these 2 URLs up way back when we first set this whole thing up. So if we go to our urls.py, we see there's our payment success. And did we set up our payment failed? Don't see. Oh, we didn't set it up. Oh, okay. Well, let's set that up right now. So let me just copy this, head back over here, and let's create a path. And let's call this payment_failed. And this is going to be views.payment_failed. And the name will be payment_failed. Now, don't forget your comma. I don't remember, did we set up an actual page for this? Let's go check it out. Save this, head back over to the website real quick. And instead of billing info, let's go to payment_success. Yes, it just says payment success, right? So we're also going to need to set up very quickly a payment_failed. So let's come down here. Here's our payment success. Let's just copy this. Let's get some space here. There we go. And this is going to be payment_failed. And we want this to go to payment_failed.html. We need to create this page. So let's go to our templates, payments. There's our payment success page. Let's just go ahead and file save as and call this payment_failed. Instead of saying success, let's just have it say failed. Save this. Let's test this out. Well, it won't be on the website because we haven't pushed it yet, but that is probably fine. Let's go to preferences or project and refresh all folders. Boom, there it is. Okay, so we're good there. So we'll test this in just a minute, but just a very basic page that says success or failure. Okay, we'll tweak these pages later on. We just want to get the functionality going now. So, all right, we've got our 3 URLs. That's good. We need one more thing. We need to create the actual form. So let's go PayPal_form and let's create actual PayPal button. It's called form, but it's really just a button. So we'll set that equal to our PayPal payments form. And we want to set the initial to whatever we called this guy, which was just PayPal_dict. So we've got this. Now we just need to pass this form into our actual billing info page. So we need to do it at a couple places. Here if the user is logged in, and also here if they're not logged in. So let's come to our context dictionary, and let's pass in PayPal_form : PayPal_form. Don't forget your comma. And I'm just going to copy this whole thing and add it if we're not logged in as well. There we go. Save that. Okay, so now we can render this form on the actual page. So let's go to our templates/payments and find our, where is it? Our billing info page. And if we come back over here, we'll look at this page here. We've got our order summary, we've got our shipping info, then we've got our billing info. Let's put this PayPal button right here above this billing info. We're going to change all this later, so maybe this won't even show up unless you click credit card, which we haven't built out yet. But let's put that button right here. So that's going to be right above billing info, right below shipping info. So head back over here and let's look through here. Order summary. Here's our shipping info. Here's our billing info. Here's that card. So let's just put it right here. So let's go a couple of line breaks. And to do this, we just pass in PayPal_form.render. And there we go. Suppose we can maybe center it if we want. I don't know. Whatever. Okay. We're good to go there. So we've done all these things. Now, before this will work, we need to make a migration and push our migration. So head back over to our terminal and let's go Python, manage.py, make migrations, plural. We're getting all kinds of things. Oh, we're getting an error there. That's fine. That's because in our settings.py file, to make this live, we changed our database password. So what we can do here, this is kind of a pain. Let's come back up here because I set up a .env file several videos ago. That's still sitting here. We can just kind of, for now, change this back to .get. And these are like that. All right, that should work. We'll change it back in just a second. But we need to, let's clear the screen and try this again. We need to make these migrations. And there we go. So we've made a migration. Now we need to push those to our database up in the cloud. So let's go Python, manage.py, migrate. Oh, all kinds of things. No password supplied. So let's see. Let's come back here and we gotta do all these silly things. All right, let's try this again. Save this, head back over here, try and migrate this again. And there we go. All right. Annoying, but that's fine. So now we can come back over here. I'm going to comment these things back out, change these back. Here we go. Okay, so that should work. Now, we've made our migration. We've pushed our migration. All of this stuff is up there. Now we just need to save all of this to GitHub, push it up, make our site live again, check it online, see if it works. So let's head over here and let's go git add period, git commit -am, added PayPal payments, like that. All right, and then git push. All right, now when we head back over to our Railway website, let's see, Patience Essence Django test. This should, yep, there we go. It's building out. We can click on this and watch. And again, this usually takes 2 to 3 minutes, right? So just kind of pause the video and wait for this to do its thing. Okay, and deployed is successful. Let's head back over here and I don't know, maybe let's start over. And we have a host error because we forgot to update our proc file. So head back over here and let's go pip freeze requirements .text. All right, let's head back over here and check our requirements.txt file. Yeah, now we got the Django PayPal in there. Okay, so now, once again, push all this. So git add period, git commit -am, added PayPal payments to git push. Okay, so now head back over to Railway app. There we go. It's noticed it already. It's rebuilding the image. Another 2 or 3 minutes. Pause it, come back. We'll try it again. Okay, deployment successful. Head back over here. Let me open this in another page. And all right, so we've got our cart here. Let's walk through this. $19.99, one book. Let's go ahead and check out. Come down here. Oh, we want to log in again. So, nope. Let's try this again. Check out. Again, we don't have our shipping info. Let's just add it real quick. This should have saved it, but it didn't. So john@codeme.com. 10 West Elm, apartment 1505, Chicago, Illinois, 60610, USA. Okay. All right. So now, boom, we have this buy now PayPal button. And maybe we'll put a little graphic above it that says PayPal or something, but this, for now, this is fine. We can go ahead and click this. When we do, it heads right over to PayPal and it says $19.99, which is what we would expect, right? So here, you want to log into PayPal with your Sandbox personal account. Let's see. pop in the password and log in. Or you can come down here and click pay with debit or credit card. Saw that button there. And remember, we have a bunch of fake money in this account, so I'll just pay with the PayPal balance, complete the purchase. There it is. It's using the PayPal address that it has on there. We'll fix that later. There's a receipt number. Send a confirmation. And now we can return to the merchant, and this will send us back to that payment success. Remember, Django.test/payment/payment success. It also passes the ID with it. We'll play with that later. Again, this is just a vanilla page for now, but that seems to work. So here, if we go back to, let's go sandbox.paypal.com, and we log in with our business account, our Sandbox business account, remember from the last video, we should see I did another one earlier, but we have a payment from John Elder, $19.99, sure enough. Now it just has my PayPal stuff here, right? It doesn't say exactly what was purchased. Let's see if we look at this. It just says book order here because back in our code, in our views.py file, we listed it as book order. That's where that comes in. But very cool. We have an invoice ID and everything seems to have worked. So, all right, we are good to go. And that's all there is to it. We could play around with this. Let's go back here. We've got to set this up again to where it sends it back. It'll clear the cart. We'll do that later. We can update this. Now it's $79.96. Now we can check out. Let me just put some stuff here. Now if we click on here, buy now. Hi, John, we're already logged in. It says $79.96. We're getting a thing because we logged in with our business account. If we log back out, it's still trying to get us in with our PayPal business account. Let's try this again. Remember, $79.96. Again, it shows $79.96. We can log in with this would be then personal. I'm not going to go through it again. It's enough that we can see it's updating with the correct amount, so that looks good. And everything is working. Let's try canceling this order. If we cancel, it says payment failed because it sends us back to that payment failed page, which is exactly what we want. And we are good to go. All right, a little bit sloppy there with the settings, the database stuff, but that's just because it was a local host versus the actual website. Got that all sorted out. And we're good to go. So pretty quick and easy to get PayPal set up. Now, obviously, this is not the complete setup. We still want to, when they return to the website, show them a custom page. We want to then take the information from the order and add it to our database so we can ship them the books. Like right now, I don't know what books I just purchased as the business owner here, right? So we'll need to set that up, but very good step here and pretty cool. And that's kind of all there is to it. So that's all for this video. My name is John Elder from Codemy.com, and I'll see you in the next video.